Dope.
All right. Let's start us off with the intro.
You?
Oh, you want? Oh, okay. I'll do it.
Which one? Okay.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Late Night Gray Area Podcast. Today, it's a little bit different.
Sorry. You go.
Oh, today, we're doing something a little different. Since we haven't had any engaged users yet, we are going down a list of questions on debatable topics and talking about our opinions on, I guess, each question, and kind of more variety episode. So should be fun. Connor, kick us off with that first question.
Here we go. A college degree is essential for getting a job. These are debate topics. I should preface that. So it's like set as like someone should take a yes, someone should take a no. I mean, the way the question is formed, I'm just going to tear it apart. It says a college degree is essential for getting a job. Doesn't say a good job. So I'm going to take the no stance because no, you could work pretty much anywhere. Like you can work at McDonald's or something. That's a job. There's even better jobs that you could work at, get paid more, just skip college.
That's true. Well, since you took no, I'm going to take yes. I'm going to say yes for the reason because I feel like you said, you can pretty much get any job without one, but getting a good job, or at least a job at an established company that's like not what I would call a baby job, essentially like working at Walmart or Target or McDonald's or something like that, something with like qualifications.
Right.
I would say yes, most companies still at least look if you have a college degree. So I feel like it can be beneficial in that sense, that if you have it, they're probably more likely to at least look at your application than compared to somebody who doesn't have no college degree.
Right. Yep, that's a good point. All right, let's see the next one. That was a lame one. Why are these political? Oh, they're education themed. College should be free for everyone. I'll let you take the handlebars on that one.
No, it shouldn't. College
is, some reasoning.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, I feel like state-sponsored education is already failing. So going one route, if you were to make college free for everyone, it would most likely be state-run. And in my opinion, that wouldn't work out very well. It also devalues what a college degree actually is. Like if everybody has a college degree, it's like it doesn't mean as much. So
right.
So that's
I agree with that.
Why I say no. College should not be free.
I mean, I literally can't say it should be free. So I'm gonna stick with that too. Just because there's literally a barrier for entry. Yeah, maybe it's too expensive, whatever. If you want a degree, go to community college. Like it's way cheaper than like private, like high school. So just go to community college, get a BA, B. No, B. No.
I think it's an AA.
Yeah, AA. Just 2-year degree. Get your feet wet, see if you even like it. Save a little money that way. But yeah, there's a barrier to entry for a reason, because it's a lot of work. And yeah, if everybody has it, eventually, honestly, we already can see that college is becoming what high school was to like our grandparents. You know, if you went to high school, you were like, whoa, we'll hire you immediately. Now it's like, if you go to, even if you go to college, it's like, no, it's actually college is already less than that. You know, it's now it's like you have to have your master's to get thought of as more experienced. But let's see. Let's skip the school ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's two good ones. I'll do one at a time. I'll do one at a time. Teachers should be given guns to defend students. This is a good, we should do this more often. This is a good idea. No, sorry,
I
this,
agree.
not the guns to teachers thing. Oh, sorry. Go. You
So
take the.
I actually am gonna say no on that.
Okay.
Because I have a different solution in mind for that.
Oh, I've heard this. This is a great idea.
So in my opinion, I mean, I do not think teachers should be at least, well, no, for the sake of the arguments, no, I don't feel like teachers should have guns. But my solution is that I feel like we should be pulling vets without jobs who can pass a mental screening and other tests to prove that they're mentally fit for the job. I feel like we should be hiring them in our schools to act as safety officers and guidance counselors for the children. And obviously they're qualified because they've been through boot camp and they know how to, use a firearm. And I feel like not only is it a good, I guess, way to get homeless people, or I guess vets without jobs, or maybe homeless vets off the streets and put them in a program that would be useful, but it also, I feel like, could benefit the kids in the sense that, there's somebody who's a positive role model that kids could look up to and say like, man, that's cool. Hey, I want to go into the military too. Or that's cool. Like, I think that would be my solution rather than a teacher having a job or a gun for this argument.
Okay. So I actually really like that, but I'll take the other side just for, I was going to anyways. I don't think like we should just be like, oh, you're a teacher, here's a gun, or you're a teacher, like you need to go get a gun or get a license or whatever. But I do think we should be giving them the opportunity to either take advantage of it or turn it down. Like I think it should be, if you feel comfortable and you pass normal state legislation for getting a gun, which is hard. I get tired of people thinking it's easy. Try it, and then you'll then come back and tell me it's easy. But anyways, they should be given the opportunity. So, if you feel comfortable to protect your kids in that instance, then yes, obviously the kids should not have access to it. The kids probably shouldn't even know about it. The parents probably should. The parents definitely should. But even if you're like concealed carrying it or something, just some way, because I don't think the kids should know, and it shouldn't be in the access. Like kids should have access to it. But yeah, I don't know if you heard all that. It said my internet's unstable, but it's okay.
I got it.
Do you have any questions, or you just want me to keep going?
I say keep going.
Okay. Oh gosh. Now that was the education section. I skipped a ton of them. Now the next one is political. Should we just skip that?
Great.
Back to that, more juicy.
I say pull one.
Okay. Ooh. What? Ooh. Okay. This is, I don't know how that would go. Sorry, I should just pick one. Let me just pick one. Ooh, should the voting age be lowered to 16?
No. I feel like 18-year-olds are already too dumb to vote.
That is facts. I can't, there's no other words to express how much I agree with that. Like, honestly, looking back to, go for it. Sorry, go for it.
Oh, sorry. Well,
No, you're good.
Instead of just calling people dumb, I'm going to explain that and say that 18-year-old, well, in that stage of life, you're so like impressionable, and you're not, I guess, I wouldn't say you're not able, but you're less likely to think critically about decisions that you make. Therefore, whatever or whatever cause or whatever can easily sway you to making decisions and voting for things that you have no idea what the backlash and consequences are. So for that reason, I'm going to say no, it shouldn't be lowered, because we don't want more people making uneducated votes.
Agreed. Like I even see when I was 18, well, for me, I don't think I was ready to vote, even though my views haven't changed probably since then, but I still think like I feel like we need to pick an age and stick to it for everything. Like I think the reason they're allowing people to vote at 18, and that's where you used to be able to buy a firearm at 18 too in California. But they moved it. But anyways, I think it was because of military. So like you could go into the military at 18 or whatever. So I feel like we should pick an age and stick to it. So drinking, like everything, because it's like, to me, it's a developmental thing. It's like you are developmentally ready to take on all the hardships of being an adult. And if we stagger it a bunch, okay, when you're 16, you can vote. When you're 18, you're legally an adult. And when you're 21, you can buy a gun and drink and whatever else you want. I feel like they need to just pick something because of the background reason, which is developmental reasons. Your brain is fully developed and you're not fully. I feel like, aren't we not fully, like guys aren't fully until like 25 or something?
Yeah, 25 is the age.
I'm taking advantage of that. I use that as much as I can. Sorry, I'm not developmentally sound yet. Oh god. Okay. Burning the flag should be illegal. That's under social subjects, not political. What do you think?
Burning the flag should be illegal. That's actually a good one. I'm gonna say, like, in my opinion, no, it shouldn't be illegal, because technically you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Do I think it's
So
right?
yeah.
No. It's definitely not right, and like so many people have died for that flag and to keep you
Right.
free. And if that's how you choose to protest, then in my opinion, you have something really wrong with you,
Right.
and your mental state. But do I think it should be illegal? No, because also what would be the consequences for that?
Right.
Like, would that be jail time? Would that be a fine? Personally,
I think a fine would be good.
Yeah,
Like
I
littering.
would
Do the
agree.
same fine as littering.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But no, it shouldn't be illegal. But also, I also like would not take you seriously at all if you're burning
Oh,
flags and doing
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So for this argument, I'm going to say no, it shouldn't be illegal.
So before I legitimately thought about it, not just now, way back, I used to think yes, this is actually pretty good, because what I wanted was I wanted the flag, and again, I don't agree with this anymore, to be considered government property. So if you burn the flag, it's arson pretty much. And because I got so sick of seeing people, I'm protesting, whatever. It's like, protest some other way. This is like the most disrespectful way, and like nobody pays attention to what you're even talking about. It's just, oh, they're burning a flag, I want to beat the crap out of them. Like, it's not like your reason is lost because of the way you chose to do it.
Yes.
But
Agreed.
anyways, so I would say now I'd probably say no, because I believe in like absolute freedom, but it could be interesting if it was government property and it was arson and like $1,000 fine, $2,000 fine. But anyways, let's see.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Euthanasia should be legal. Do I even want to talk about that? Do we want to talk about that?
No.
Well, I don't know. Peer pressure is a good thing. It's literally just says peer pressure is a good thing. Oh my word. These questions. I wonder if the person's not in America that's writing these questions. Ooh, smoking should be banned.
Ooh, smoking should be banned. I'm gonna say yes. I mean,
Expand.
obviously smoking is not allowed indoors, and I feel like in all places,
Like public
unless
places,
it's
yeah.
like in public places. I also feel like government property, you can't do it. So it's like it's already, there's a lot of places you can't, but
Right.
to take that one step further, I feel like if we just completely banned smoking in all areas except for like smoke lounges. So like say if you wanted to go to a private business that was like a cigar lounge or a hookah lounge or
Right.
something, you wanted to smoke there, like by all means. But yeah, I say we should take it one step further and be no smoke anywhere except for like private places.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with that because I agree with it, but then I don't because again, absolute freedom. But your freedom, you know, is not more important than my freedom. So I believe I have the right to the cleanest air available to me. And when I am walking into a Walmart or something, not that whatever, and I have to then breathe in your secondhand smoke, which is actually worse than whatever. But
Yeah.
you're not even, that's the other thing. I think it's like 25 feet from a entryway into a building. Who is walking around with a measuring tape, making sure that people are staying 25 feet away from entrances or whatever? So yeah, I agree. There should be, because people, I think you can smoke in casinos. So if you go to a casino, just know there's going to be smoking. I think you should be able to do it
Yeah.
whatever you want in the privacy of your own home. And like you said, hookah lounge, cigar lounge, whatever. Oh, that was a good one. This one just says everyone should be vegetarian. That's dope.
No.
Yeah, no, no. Some of these are just like obvious. Solar panel, so solar power is the energy of the future. To me, that's like kind of obvious.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Ooh, get it.
Obesity should be labeled as a disease.
Jeez, you would pick this one. You can't. And what do you have to say about this one?
Well, I'll tell you what I have to say about this one.
Just
I feel like
keep it. You know what I'm saying.
yes, I know.
Okay.
So, do I feel that obesity should be labeled as a disease? I'm gonna say yes. The reason why I say yes, the reason why I say yes is because, I say yes because, it's just like plain and simple. It's just not healthy. And yes, I understand people have some certain like pre-existing conditions and thyroid conditions and eating disorders, and there's other things that contribute to obesity. But if you like decide to essentially you decide to get fat because you don't go to the gym and you don't prioritize eating well and your health, I feel like yes, it should be labeled as a disease because it drastically increases your chances of other problems like heart failure and, joint problems and all these other things, as well as it significantly decreases your life expectancy. So, I
Right.
mean, yeah, I mean, I would say obesity, I mean, overeating and, eating when you're stressed and like other ways to cope through food, I feel like is essentially a disease. It's not, well, I mean, an
Right.
addiction, like
Yeah.
smoking. Like people smoke when they're stressed. That's an addiction. I feel like overeating and eating when you're stressed and coping through food is also like a disease slash um like issue. So yes, it is a disease and it can be clinically diagnosed by your BMI. So
Well, BMI is a bunch of horse baloney, because if you have any amount of muscle, it throws the whole thing off.
yes, that's very true. But you also have to look at the person.
Right. I was going to say, it says that I'm at the top end of the healthy range. So I'm almost into the overweight range.
Yeah, see, but like look at
How?
exactly,
That's
look
skin.
at you.
That's skin. Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
Oh, it's
I
pretty
mean, you
good.
definitely have to make a judgment, but people
Right.
who are like my height and like 200 plus, that's not
Right.
healthy.
Well, you're,
So,
well, I'm not, just try to be your best self. That's all I'm going to say. Here's a good one. All cars should be electric.
uh, disagree. I like the sound of gas powered vehicles.
I agree. I do not think we are currently ready to go 100% electric. Hearing companies say we're going to be fully electric by 2035 or whatever, I really hope we just skyrocket into the future and we're ready for it. But right now, if I want to drive to go see my homie Christian and I have to stop for 45 minutes to charge my Tesla, I am not interested. I don't stop. I don't. So I'm not stopping for 45 minutes. So it's like right now, it's like, to me, it's a commuter car. It's a single use like tool, where when I buy a car, I want a car that can do as much as possible. It can carry a lot of stuff. It can go a long way. I could drive it off road, sort of. It's comfortable. Maybe it's kind of fast, feels good on the inside. That's what like literally I just described the car I have. But a Tesla only marks like two or three of those. Fast, looks good on the inside. Two of those.
Yep. No, I would
We're just not
agree. I
ready.
would say we're just not ready for that. I would also say, I mean, you can even argue electric vehicles are not the vehicle themselves, but like they're even more dangerous because the thing with electric vehicles is that you can't hear them like at all.
Oh,
So
right.
if you have like, I mean, obviously they have like self-driving whatever technology and stuff, but even that can fail sometimes. So playing, I guess, a kind of a unique side, I feel like sometimes like cars that you can't hear uh, cause more issues. Like
Right.
you're more likely to
You
get
cross the
run
street
over.
because you didn't hear it.
Exactly. Like there's a reason why you're not allowed to drive. I believe it's illegal to drive with both earbuds in
Right.
because you can't hear emergency vehicles coming.
Right.
So with that same thing, if you can't hear your car at all, if children are playing or someone's crossing the road like a pedestrian and you literally can't hear the car, I feel like honestly more people are going to get injured.
Yep. I agree. Also, electricity comes from burning coal. Okay, next question.
Yeah. I have a question.
Oh, okay, go.
So, what do you feel about I mean, like warmongering, like imperialism, like countries taking over countries like in the old days, like you battled for land.
Oh,
Do you think that should be acceptable again, or do you think the state of the world is fine how it is now?
So like occupying territories too.
Yeah. So like if America wanted to take over Canada and Mexico because they wanted to, do you think that's okay, or do you feel like that's not okay?
Ooh, that's rough. If Well, Canada, I'd have a little bit of a harder problem with, because to me they're doing things different, but I don't think I see anything wrong with the way they're doing things. I don't know if that makes sense. But like if you look at like a country where they're clearly doing things, well, even that, like I was gonna say like is it like the Arab Emirates or whatever, where like women are very little there, and to me that's like a big problem. Like obviously, um, but that's like for religious reasons. And I don't feel like, I mean, we're Christians, obviously, we want everybody to be Christians, but I also feel like you can't just go in somewhere and occupy the territory and be like, yep, now you're under our rule because your religion doesn't align with ours. Like I feel like that's a little bit of a problem, but I don't think we should do it first. If someone attacks one of our allies or attacks us, oh yeah, go in there, occupy the crap out of it, show them that our stick is the biggest stick. That's because that you don't want other people to see how we treat that, and then a bigger, badder person comes in and does it. Because that's like think of like World War II or even World War One. I think the battles were literally like in the streets of some of these countries, like Germany and I think France. I think a lot of it was in France. They were literally in the
Yeah.
streets. Like, imagine if that happened in the US. People would freak out. Like, it would be the worst. So, and that's why, like, think about it, we haven't had a war here. Part of it is because we have Alaska. The other part is because they'd have to invade Mexico or Canada. And then no one's going to come on the other side on the East Coast. So, I don't know. But personally, I think no one wants to mess with us. So, because they know if they do, bad things will happen. So, what do you think?
I would have to agree.
Okay, well,
I think,
there you go.
I mean, I would agree with that. I also think that, I mean, the old days of like, I'm going to take over you because I want to is not
Right,
okay. I feel
right,
like utilizing our power to liberate wrong situation, like actual humanitarian issues, is another thing.
yeah, I
So
agree with
like
that.
the problems, I mean, I'm going to use, well, I have three examples. One is
Okay.
China. China, because like they oppress their citizens.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
actually, let me change. Well, China and North Korea. Let me just lump them in
right,
one. They oppress
yeah.
their citizens, and it's a communist government. If you think back to the Cold War, we opposed communism so hard we almost nuked people.
Oh, that's right.
Like
What was that? The bane of pigs, the bath of pigs. What
the
was that
Bay of
called?
Pigs in
The
Cuba.
Bay of
Yeah,
Pigs. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah. Like we like almost nuke people. So I feel like utilizing our power to like help situations is okay, and which would obviously mean occupying territory, but not for the sake of taking over, but to liberate. So
So
China,
almost
North Korea, um, Mexico and the cartels,
right,
um, and then like I think Venezuela, like socialist, like just
right.
dictatorial places.
Okay, yeah. No, I agree with that, and I think yeah, I almost feel like that's not like well, you might have to start it out as like a military takeover ordeal, whatever. But then you're gonna have to move into like a more of an administrative thing. Like like I think of places like I think like Zimbabwe. We learned about that in the econ, where they just have crazy inflation because basically their president is like, oh, I want more money, print more money, and so like you take a wheelbarrow full of cash and it buys you a loaf of bread. And so they have hyperinflation. So I almost that's somewhere like that. We should come in and be like, you know how dumb this is, and then explain it. Like, but then I think this moves into a question I actually have. Is the notion, I already have an answer for it, but I want to hear what you have. is the notion of America first racist or selfish or something? Is it, I'm not sure what the word that some people I know have used for it. Is America first bad? How about let's just make it super simple.
So no, it's not bad. I would say every country in the world is their country first.
Should
I
be.
think of the Olympics, like every country battles for first place.
Right.
Like they're not battling like, oh, here, I guess Kenya, like we're gonna let Usain Bolt win because we know he's the best.
Right.
What they do is they try to train somebody better and beat Usain Bolt to hold a new world record and to take that gold medal.
Right.
I mean, there's ways of going about that. Like China literally has like boarding schools for different things. So like,
right.
I mean, China has the most gold medals in the world out of all the Olympics ever. They also have the most gold medals this year as well.
Oh, really? I've been
US,
slowly paying attention.
yeah. So the China has the most gold medals this year, and the US has the most silver medals, which I think is kind of ironic. Yeah, it's kind of ironic, honestly. But the notion that America first is bad is dumb, because if you don't think America is the best country and you like want to pursue a better country here, then go find somewhere else that you think is better fits your ideals
right.
of what you think a country should be doing. Like,
right.
I just don't understand how somebody could think that wanting to put our people first is wrong.
Right.
Like personally, I would much rather, I sympathize with, them wanting to escape. Like I think of illegal immigrants, like being in San Diego, there's so many here.
Right.
So I sympathize. They're looking for a better life. They don't want to be in their run country,
Right.
I sympathize with that. But at the same time, I would argue that we should be taking care of vets and homeless people on our streets before we should be giving any money or social programs or even driver's license to, these people who come across illegally.
Right.
Like legally, please come, like show us that you're like, please come and show us that you're an asset to this nation.
Right.
And, a lot of illegal immigrants like are assets in their own ways, like manual labor stuff that people don't want to do. Like, I would argue that most Americans probably don't want to do that work,
Right. Yeah. That's been ingrained in us, though. I feel like no one wants to do hard stuff.
Exactly, which is not good. But if you can pay somebody else to do it, then why not?
Why not? Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like the notion of like not wanting to take care of your own is a serious threat to like the stability of the people inside that make up the country. So if you have anything to add on that.
I feel like I agree with pretty much everything you said. The only thing I don't see it as like us being the best, which I think every country has like flaws, including America. I think we all have flaws. Some are just quite large and others are quite menial, whatever. But I almost see it as like a biblical principle where, the whole don't, like, hey Christian, you have like there's a little thing on your eye, like try to get it off, when I've just got like a little water bottle in my eye, the whole speck in your neighbor's eye and you got a log in your eye.
Exactly.
So that's what I see. So we have like you touched on it, tons of problems in America, and you've seen some of those pop up and people talk about them and all this stuff. Yet people are still like, oh no, we need to help other countries. Like we need to was it gender studies in Pakistan, or we need to, allow more people in. And it's like, why would I want someone to experience like a flawed place or mildly flawed place? Like, let's get our crap together first and then be like, hey, check out like our great country that has very few issues, and yeah, we are still flawed, but come in and help us fix them, like, but I don't know. But people are like, oh yeah, like,
Yeah.
I've heard so many like Christians even be like, oh no, that's racist and I don't know, xenophobic or whatever. I don't know. They use these big words that they pretend like they know what they mean. And it's like, to me, it's biblical. Fix yourself before you try to fix others. It's
Yeah.
literally just
Well,
as easy as
even
that.
adding to that, we have the most, I guess, immigrants here to this country. And that's because we let the most people in. If you look
Right.
at, I would argue some of the Scandinavian countries like Norway and like uh, Norway and Sweden, they have a like really, in my opinion, really solid countries. They're very, very wealthy.
Right.
The citizens are wealthy. They're very focused on tech and building infrastructure that works, and they have tons of great things. They also
Right.
have one of the strictest immigration laws in the world. They
Right.
don't let anybody in, and they
Right.
do that for a reason. It's
Yeah.
because they don't want lamos coming into their country and like essentially taking away from the great things that they've done.
Right.
And like, yes, they do let people in, but the process to get into those countries is so much more difficult, and
Right.
they let so many less people in.
Right.
So, and they do that strategically. So that, that's just my point, is that like when you have a country that just lets in anybody it wants, legally and illegally, that's just like a road to issues when you're not taking care of your own people, like the Norwegian countries, because they really take care of their people. Like I think I did in international business class in Bjorn's class. Every single citizen in Norway could retire a millionaire. That's because of their social safety net that they've built for their citizens.
That's insane.
Million US too. Million US.
It's crazy. Nice. Is that your sister or your mom? Oh, okay. um, okay, sorry. This one's weird, and I kind of want to know what you think. Advertising should be banned during children's programs.
Ooh. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I guess it depends on what advertising it is. Like toy advertisements, I guess, are fine.
Right.
I wouldn't want my kid why do they need to watch a Gatorade commercial?
True. Well, that would just be, honestly, like, you would be stupid. The advertising would not be the smartest if they chose to advertise like Cialis. So what is Cialis? Is that a bad one? Should I
Yeah,
not
that's
use
like
that
a
one?
drug.
Well, no, that's what I mean. They shouldn't be. I don't remember what Cialis is used for, but all I know is it's like Cialis for daily use. That's what the commercial says. But why would you then like try to get a kid to want that? Like, that would be a waste of money, because the kid's going to be like, what is this? This is boring. Change the channel. Like, so it's like,
Exactly.
I feel like they have to do toys and crap like that. Also, nope, go away. Here we go. Wow. What? Oh my word. One of the first ones, which I don't really want to talk about, maybe this could be a different one. Females are better managers than males. And then all
Oh yeah,
women are
I have.
irrational and use intuition instead of logic.
Oh
I don't,
my.
no,
Oh my
don't even
gosh.
answer it.
I'm not. Oh my god. I don't even think I have an opinion on that. Oh, I have one.
Parenting. Oh, go for it.
Hunting, good or bad?
It's great. It's great. And I really want to get into it. Um, I think there's certain things that everybody should try once. And if you hate it, don't do it again. And if you love it, make a hobby out of it, or just know that it's, maybe it'll change your mind on things. Like everyone should go shooting once. I think everybody should. I think the feeling you get is just unmatched. Hunting is the same thing. I think it gives you perspective into, hey, like, you buy meat at the supermarket, and you hear the vegans and vegetarians and stuff, oh, it's so inhumane how we treat animals, which could be true or could not be true, whatever. But this way, you get to decide how humane you are. If you miss your shot, you're a jerk. But if you get a good shot, it's fast, you clean it up real nice, you keep the head as a trophy, and so you always remember that month of meals that you had, where you had elk burgers for every day for a month. But I don't know, I just think it's one of those things I just want to try. I feel like it just, like, it brings you in touch with like what people in the past used to do, and I'm very interested in that lately. Like World War II, we should talk about this at some point, because I just think World War II is crazy. When you like, I've been watching like a ton of World War II movies, and some of them, I don't know if it's like accurate, and I feel like they're probably getting close, but not even close, where it's like those people, like literally people were like, all my friends are going over to fight for our country, and like I'm here and I feel worthless, like I need to go. Here people be like, no, I'm so scared, don't make me do it. Like imagine if we had a
Yeah.
war and we took every male from 18 to 25 like our laws say. Imagine half of them would be nincompoops, including maybe me and you. So it just be, it just, I don't know, it's just, we're not built the same as people from the 40s.
Yeah, this is true. I would also argue that, I mean, like you said, hunting, uh, I mean, it's the pinnacle of self-sufficiency. And
Those
I
words, bro, wow.
I know. And I would argue there's even a spiritual aspect to it as well. Like it's very, I mean, you're out in nature, maybe all alone. I don't know, maybe you have a buddy or something, but you're out there alone in nature, pure silence, like stalking a wild animal, and looking to hunt it for food, or to have the trophy on your wall or whatever it is. I feel like just the experience of hunting, although I've never tried it, is very spiritual and very like um it sounds like very spiritual, like peaceful, but also exhilarating, like I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
chasing that, like I feel like people don't realize how much buildup and tracking goes into like a hunting event. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
unless you're shooting like quail in a field or something.
They all show up, you just
Like
shoot the massive thing of them.
exactly. Like I feel like stalking elk, or hunting a bear or something, like that takes some serious skill.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like just something about that sport or hobby, or lifestyle, whatever you want to call it, is very intriguing. And
Yeah,
I want to try it.
I was gonna say, we should do, we should like do a vlog, like a really short vlog of us hunting somewhere. Obviously there's certain things we couldn't show on
Yeah,
YouTube, I guess, but that'd be pretty
that's
cool,
true.
but no,
I will
I really want to try
also
it.
say that poaching is not a good thing.
No, well, that's completely different, because that removes the like respect. Like to me, I totally like agree with the, or more align with like the traditional Native American way of doing it, where you use everything. You they went to the extreme, but for me, it's like, I'm going to make sure, like, if I know I won't, like, let's say I get a bear, I don't know how much they weigh, let's just say 250 pounds. That is a lot of meat. There's no way I'm eating all that. So if I go to like
Yeah.
a butcher to have him cut it up and clean it for me, I'll be like, hey, just take like half of it to like and sell it to people who want it, or give it to a homeless shelter, whatever. And then keep the is it pelt or fur, whatever, as like a reminder, or the head if you want the head, if you're into that kind of thing, whatever. It's I don't know, to me, yeah, like spiritual is like, it's close, I guess. It's like it's more meaningful, but like just going up to a rhino and just cutting off its horn, it's like, that's, you just want money, you're doing it for all the wrong reason. It's not,
Exactly.
I don't know, it's just different, because literally your reasoning is money. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh boy. Oh boy. These are some of these are really deep. Ooh, does our uniqueness allow finding universal treatment for psychological disorders?
Like, does our uniqueness help or hurt that?
Pick one.
Oh man.
I would argue that it hurts, because you know what I think about psychology. In a nutshell, to me, psychology, the way people use it, is a wrench, screwdriver, and hammer that's all in one. And if you just beat things with it, it'll fix them. And not everybody uses it like that, but I think a lot of people do. So it's not a universal tool. It's not a Leatherman, like, okay. And the other thing is, it's like shoving a square through a circle hole. It's not going to happen. And to me, people are unique, and you need to come up with unique solutions. And maybe knowing like the history, or like what has happened in the past, can help you now, but don't be like, oh yeah, this 85% of our support group, this is what happened, so this will help you. And it's like, what if I'm in the 15% that it didn't help, or in the, what is it called when it's like, if you have 100 people in a support group or something, some group, a test group, and 85 of them are one thing, 15 are the other, but then if you grabbed a different 100, there might be a completely different variable that you didn't even account for because your group was too small. That, whatever that's
Oh,
called,
sample size.
to me, yeah, to me, it's like, you're never going to get a big enough sample size to get everything. So don't treat it as like you are, like that it's an exact science. It's almost like how I see business. It's an art, or like management, or starting a business. It's an art. It's not a science. There's not a, here's steps 1 through 10. You do all of these, you'll have a successful business. It's, here are some steps you could take. Here's some other steps, kind of take in what you want and extrapolate, So that's what I think. Nothing against people who
Yeah.
like psychology, but
I would agree with you on all of that. I would even go, I would say, for the sake of the argument, I would say behavioral psychology is somewhat important, because I feel like, while each person is unique, us as humans are destined to act very similarly when it comes to certain issues. So I guess an example of that would be, everyone's, puts themselves above others, like a self-serving, I guess, rationale, whatever that is.
right. Yeah.
So I would say behaviorally, like in a psychology standpoint, like, oh well, you think you're greedy, well yeah, I mean, you're embezzling money from a business, like, that behaviorally you can diagnose somebody's issue based on what, most people would do. And while I see what you're saying is the uniqueness of, different, I guess, mental and psychological issues is important. I also feel like strictly behaviorally, most people act the same way, no matter what
Right.
you're talking about.
Right.
So
That's a good point.
strictly from a behavioral standpoint, I would say it's a interesting.
Right. Yeah. And I think what I'm mostly talking about is like the cause of certain things. Like, oh, your kid is acting out and screaming in a store. Oh, well, that's because when he was 2, he ate a crayon. Like, it could have been something else. How do you know he ate a crayon? So that, I think that's for me, is like the something happens, and then 95% of the time something happens 10 years down the road because of developmental problems. To me, sometimes, like, most of the time it has to do with like parenting. Like, if you allow your kid to scream in a store, he's going to do it later. Like, but anyways, we don't have to get too like whatever. I took one psychology class in college, so I don't really know that much. If someone wants to come on and talk to us about psychology, shameless plug,
Please.
we'll talk to you about it. Oh, do we have one more to end it with?
I think so. Let me find one here.
Some of these are like just statements, and it's like inspirational quotes. It's like, this isn't a debate topic.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have one? Because I might have one.
No, I can't find one.
Okay. Crap, where did it go? Crap. Oh, I don't remember where it was. It was something to do where it basically said, can legislation keep up with new technologies? So, well, I think you know what I mean.
Interesting.
So, like,
No. I would say no, for the
right.
simple fact that look at Amazon and Google. Like, if Teddy Roosevelt was still president, he would trust bust the crap out of those companies.
Yep.
Like,
Monopolies, bro. Borderline
exactly.
monopolies.
And legislation, well, first of all, I would say I would go out on a limb to say most people in politics are pretty freaking old. So they don't understand technology as well, which could have negative effects in terms of like writing appropriate legislation.
Right.
I would also say that obviously they can't keep up because they can't ever make a decision in bipartisan.
Right. That's facts.
And then my third point is that tech changes so much and so fast that, I mean, look at the CD player. Like, when I was a kid, CD player was popping, and now the CD player is obsolete.
No, it's dropping. I hate that. Pretend I didn't say that.
It's dropping. With like not even within my lifetime, an entire like way of life and piece of technology is just completely useless.
Right.
So I would say,
well, look at the MP3 player, bro. Even that's gone.
Right. Like, there's just no way that they can write legislation that keeps up with it. That's why I feel like they should really work on writing better legislation.
Right. Well, or just less of it.
Well, yeah, that too.
Less garbage,
yeah,
more stuff that's important.
Exactly. There's no way they can keep up with that.
No. Yeah, I think for me, forget the technology part. Can legislation keep up? And it's no, because usually what happens is a company or a person does something, and then they say, that doesn't feel right. Let's make it illegal. So it's like the thing has to happen before they can be like, oh yeah, that shouldn't be allowed, or that's too good to be true, so now let's make it illegal. Which there could be problems with that too, like, you see Amazon doing things and it's like, if it was illegal, they'd be stopped. So they're not technically there, but should we should we
Yeah.
stop a company from being a good company, or should we have helped this company with tax breaks or whatever get to where they are? Should the government buy out, or buy companies out of bankruptcy, like Chevy? I think Chevy went bankrupt in like 2014 or something, and the government was like, here, take some money. Or Obama administration, President Obama
Yeah.
said, here, take some money. Now Chevy's back because we love Chevy. They don't even make good
Yeah.
cars.
That's yeah. I mean, I would say, adding on to this, I would say that nowadays everything is kept so much under wraps that it's almost impossible to determine what somebody's intentions are.
Right.
I mean, Jeff Bezos buying up, the Washington Post and every other company imaginable.
Right.
Like, there's no way to know if he like just wants to do that because he can, or he wants to because he has, a secret agenda because he's in bed with like politicians and other,
Right.
powerful people. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel
Wants to
like back
control the
then,
narrative.
well, right. And I feel like, back then, like I think of Andrew Carnegie or, Rockefeller, those types of people. Like, he owned literally the entire steel industry for wide. Like, and he just kept going because, he could. And I don't feel
Right.
like, I mean, obviously I don't know everything, but I feel like it wasn't because he wanted some ultimate, one world order government
Right.
and he wanted all the power. He just wanted to be a good businessman.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like that was way easier to determine back then than it is today. You have no idea what these people are being paid off by. Are there secret deals happening under the table? Are they influenced by politicians? Like, so I feel
Right.
like, trust busting today is so much more complicated because of, you never know somebody's true intentions.
Right. Well, think about even just like weird stuff that goes on. So think about, I think these are all right. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what do an online bookstore, mobile phone, cellular crap, and electric cars all have in common?
I don't know.
Nothing, bro. But they're all trying to get to space. Why? Like, why? Virgin, Amazon, and SpaceX or Tesla, whatever. They're all like trying to get to space. And it's like, why do you want to get to space? Like, what's the reason? Well, I think Virgin, he already went to space, didn't he? Virgin Mobile or
Yeah,
Virgin,
that,
I'm not
well,
sure. Virgin
yeah,
conglomerate. I don't know what the name of his company is.
it's Sir Richard Branson, and
Oh,
yeah,
right.
he did just go to space.
And I mean, that would be dope. I'd love to go to space, but why? That's the other thing. I think NASA should get rid of it. Let someone that actually like is trying, like, take the wheel. So like, I mean, SpaceX, why not? Why not have them do some crap for us? Like, I don't know. I just feel like you shouldn't just make something a government thing and then, I don't know. I think a lot of things should be privatized. We've already talked about this, but because that's where you get the best result, is when it's privatized. When your check is guaranteed at a certain time every day, because it's coming from the taxpayer. Not every day, every pay period, whatever. You're not telling you can't tell me that you're going to work as hard as if it was like, hey, if we strike out on this, we're done. Like, we lose the contract, we lose whatever the pay is, whatever. So we need to crack down and make this work. Like I think of like The Martian, the way those guys worked. It's like, oh well, you know, we need 2 years to build a rocket. Okay, you have 90 days. Like, I know that's totally
Right.
unrealistic. It's an unrealistic movie, but the point still stands. But anyways, we hit a lot of stuff. This was fun though. I'd like to do
Yeah.
this again. This was fun. Random questions. Of course, we'd love them
Yeah.
from the viewers once we pump those numbers up, those rookie numbers. We get those up.
Oh, they sure are. But
Yeah. Well, we
we
passed 100
obviously,
views on our first video.
I know, that's sweet.
Yeah.
As usual, thank you guys for listening. We hope you take something away, or at least think about, I guess, new thoughts and new ways of thinking on certain issues that you may not be super well versed in, or maybe have really strong opinions in. So, as always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yes.